Okay, so go to address what you wrote here also. So the when we say um uh, uh, Kel Elyon, Gomel Chasdim Tovim Konei Hakol. So to my mind, the Kel Elyon comes to tell us that after it's important for us to understand that we relate the way Kosh Baruch Hu relates to us, the way we relate to Kosh Baruch Hu is through the examples we have of the Avos. In other words, the Avos represent to us the examples of relationships which we have, whether it's through Kosh Baruch Hu's Chesed or Kosh Baruch Hu's Gvura, or a combination of the two. So we know that everybody, since we relate to Avos, has this capacity to relate to Kodesh Baruch Hu that way, and it's part of the first Baruch and Shemoneh Esrei in order for us to come to this realization and that we have to seek out our ways, just like is okay with Seinu. It's okay, but okay, Seinu shows the way we make Elokeinu is by looking how he was Elokei Abosenu, and Elokei Abosenu can be, of
Mhm.
course, closer, but the ultimate um, paradigms are the paradigms of the Avos. So Gomel Chatzim Tovim is looking at Kodesh Baruch Hu through the prism, through the lens, I mean, of Avraham Avinu. Gomel Chatzim Tovim, Kodesh Baruch Hu is Gomel Chesed, just like Avraham Avinu is Gomel Chesed, but they're Chasadim Tovim. And Chasadim Tovim, the difference between Chesed and Chesed Tov is that if a human being does a Chesed to somebody, so it's not necessarily a Chesed. For all I don't know, if I give somebody who's $50, right, and he's drunk, he's alcoholic, he's going to use those $50 to go buy alcohol. So that's not a chesed toiv. It's a chesed, but it's not a chesed toiv. Right? Chesed toiv is when it's the chesed is good for the person, not just that it is a kindness to the person. Okay, so that's the Kodesh Baruch Hu is chesed, just like Avraham Avinu is chesed, but way above that because he's gomel chasadim tovim, right? He bestows chasadim which are truly good. V'konei hakol. Now, konei hakol, I've never seen this anywhere, but this I believe to be true, and this is what I usually have in my Shemoneh Esrei, that konei is from the lashon of ken, like we find by Ken Sipor, a bird's nest. And when somebody acquires something, buy something, so that thing nests by him, right? It's nesting by him now. Eventually, it's going to nest by somebody else because everything in this world, outlasts and usually goes somewhere else after its owner gets rid of it, or it's after its owner, dies or whatever. So, but right now, a Kenyan means this thing is nesting by me right now. Nested by you yesterday. It's by me today. It's going to be by the other guy tomorrow. So that relates to the meat of Yitzchak. The Yitzchak is the meat of Gvura, and Gvura means restraint, and restraint means that something is in a specific place and not in another place, right? Restraint means held back, placed in a specific location. So therefore, when we talk about Kosh Baruch Hu being Konei Hakol, he places everything where it's supposed to be. He puts everything in the proper nest for it. So that's what I understand. Gomer Chasodim Tovim corresponds to Avram. V'konei Hakol corresponds to Yitzchak. And we're describing Kosh Baruch Hu with those traits, which we give to Avram and Yitzchak, because that's how we can relate to Kosh Baruch Hu. Now, of course, there are many other ways to relate to Kosh Baruch Hu, but in the first Baruch Hu, we want to mention the two opposing forces in our relationship with the Kosh Baruch Hu, the Chesed force and the Gvura force, and it follows the first part. So, okay, Avraham, okay, so okay, Yaakov, right? Hakel Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora, Kel Elyon. He's above and beyond all of the descriptions, because everything I do to describe him is as if I'm diminishing him. I'm trying to put Hakadosh Baruch Hu in a box. I can't do that. So that's why I mentioned he's Kelion. He's a strength and power beyond all that. But once I did that, I go back to what I did before. I say it's Gomel Chasim Tovim Konei. Right? There's ways in which he's that track of the right, so to speak, of Abraham, and the track of the left, which is Yitzchak. V'zocher Chas de Avos. You got what so far so good? Yeah. Okay, you're muted.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah. So V'zocher Chas de Avos. So now I think that I'm not sure this corresponds to Yaakov necessarily, but I think that there is a connection here. In other words, Yaakov obviously brings the Avos together, right? There's Chesed, Gvur, and Tiferes, right? Godel, Gibor, Nora, and because Yaakov completes the cycle of Avos, so therefore Zocher Chas de Avos, he's the one who then brings us to the point where Hakadosh Baruch Hu remembers all the Avos together and how they were connected to him, and he connects to us as well. So it's not a direct connection because Zocher Chaz Elvis is very generic. Right? It doesn't necessarily capture any specific midah, any specific trait, but corresponds somehow to the completion of Avos to Yaakov. Okay, it's a weak point in my analysis, but I think that's could be what it means. Let's see what the Dover Shalom says. Okay, Zocher Chaz Elvis maybe well even Nehem Leman Shmo. Now he brings that in. I want to point out. Maybe Goel. Livnei v'nehem, leman shmo, b'yahava. So there are four aspects there. He's just going on, maybe go el livnei v'nehem, leman shmo. When I come back to it, I'm going to come back to, I'm going to set it up. Is maybe Goel is livnei v'nehem, leman shmo, b'yahava. Maybe Goel is the general topic. And the three ways in which it can come, the Goel, Livnei V'nehem, Leman Shmo, or B'Ahava. Okay, but he's not going. Let's see what he does. That's not that before we get to what I do. V'socher chas de'avos, so maybe go Livnei V'nehem, Leman Shmo. Hagula titochen omitzat shur sadin. The gula can come either because it's the appropriate thing to do, right? It's shur sadin means this is the right thing. The law requires it. Kshemakir b'maaseim. When I'm not sure what he means when we know their deeds or whether Hakadosh Baruch Hu recognizes our deeds. I assume he means when we know what we're doing and we do the right thing, right? And then Hakadosh Baruch Hu, it's well maybe it's supposed to be Shemukarim b'Maasehim, but in any event, it means that when everybody recognizes the deeds of the Jews make them suitable to have the goyal. Mitzvah
Yeah.
chesed. Come on account of chesed l'mala mishur sedin, above and beyond the shur sedin. Meaning sarusa de ela tliyim b'sarusa del sato. When Hakadosh Baruch Hu awakens to us from on high, it's connected to how we awaken ourselves from below.
Mm-hmm.
Shemisnag, I think shemisnagim l'mata b'darche chesed l'mala mishur sedin. When we conduct ourselves below in the manners of chesed, which are above the shur sedin,
Mm-hmm.
beyond the shur sedin, misora gam koach yom b'darche chesed. So then also from above, there's kindness towards us. Just nagi
Yeah.
l'mata b'shur sedin. When we conduct ourselves below with shur sedin, according to the letter of law, misora koach yom b'darche shur sedin. So corresponding to us, we get shur sedin from above, according to the letter of law. Now, Avos, uh, about Avodas Avos LaHashem, Avodas Avos LaHashem, Shekima Torah Kodim Shitstavu. They fulfill the Torah before they are commanded. Who inyan shel chesed l'malam mishus din? It's like a chesed. They're doing a chesed. Kosh Baruch Hashem didn't command them to do the mitzvahs. They're doing a chesed. Kosh Baruch Hu. We're going to do the mitzvahs even though we're not commanded. That's he's saying. V'zocher chas de avos means that Kosh Baruch we're going to do chesed. The avos are going to do chesed with Hashem. They're not commanded to do mitzvahs. We'll do it anyway. We love a Kosh Baruch Hu and do mitzvahs, right? Therefore, even if the generation is not suitable with their deeds, lifnim mishur sadin to that Kosh Baruch Hu should go lifnim mishur sadin. Who is barach zocher chas de avos? He remembers the chasadim masha abdu avos mitzad chesed kom shitstavu. They serve a Kosh Baruch before they're commanded. By day Cain, by day Kach, and through this, as a result, maybe Goel Livnei B'neim, it brings the Goel to the descendants, Afshem Rulinzeh. Even they're not suitable for it. Mitzad Chesed, he brings it, even though they're not suitable for this, and even they're not suitable mitzad. I think it means even they're not suitable, even mitzad Chesed. Even
Yeah.
we don't deserve it. Not just Mishra Sadin. But even if we don't deserve the chesed, why leman shmo bi'ava, right? So I think I'm not sure if you say maybe go out leave v'nehem, right? Leman shmo bi'ava is according to him is all one thing. It sounds like it, right? He's zocher chas de
Mhm.
avos, and that they will live in maybe go out leave v'nehem, and as a result, he brings the chesed, the gula for us to their descendants, leman shmo bi'ava for his name and for out of love, even though we don't deserve it. Because Mida Ganeda correspond to the Avos.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I think he's saying. But I would break it down further. I would think that's maybe Goel, Libnei B'neihem. Okay, that Zocher Chas, the Avos, maybe go Libnei B'neihem. That's what he says that corresponds. Obviously, there's a connection. But I think it's like this. We can get the Gula Ili B'nei B'neihem, right? Because we're descendants of the
Mhm.
Avos. What happens if there is no Schus Avos? What happens if there's no Susavos because we've outlasted it? Because I'll say
Me-
perhaps
Meaning then they brings because of us then.
what?
The, if there's no schus of us, then they bring because of us
Not
or
because of
because of
us.
the children.
No, no, no. Still don't deserve it. Leman Shmo. Even
Because
if we
of
don't
himself.
deserve it, it's for His name because of the Chil Hashem of us being Galus, right? And even if that's not enough, right? Even if that's not enough,
Mhm.
it's still because Baruch brings good out of love, ba'ava. Because if you love somebody, you do things for them, even they don't deserve it.
Mhm.
That's what I think. That's how I interpret it. So he's Zorcha Chas Avos, right? And that's a big thing. But what happens?
Yeah.
And he's maybe Goel and leave Abraham to their children, to their descendants, because he's Zorcha Chas Avos, and that could be like he's saying the Dover Shalom, because since they did Chasodim Lifnim Shursadin, Mida Knegem Mida, he'll do Chasodim with us Lifnim Shursadin. But what if we don't? There's no Schusavos anymore. So in that he doesn't go in. He doesn't differentiate. And that I'm saying that the rest of the terms, the two other terms, Leman Shmo B'Yahava, are even if there's no
No
merit
schus.
of Bnei Bneihem,
Yeah.
right? There's
Yeah.
still Leman Shmo, and even there's no Leman Shmo. There's still B'Ava. That's how I understand it. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that those are the three different levels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So again, Gomel Chazim Tovim, V'Konei Akol, V'Zocher Chazdei Avos is one thing. Then we go to the next part. Umaybe Goel. He brings a Goel. Either Livnei V'Nehem, right? Because
Because of Avos.
what? Yeah.
Because of Avos.
Right. Or Leman
Or
Shmo.
Man Shmo. Because of his Kiddush Hashem.
Right.
Or
Or Ba'ava
Be'ahava.
out of pure love. And love is no matter that we don't deserve it anymore. Okay, so there are other interpretations here. For example, here he brings that
Mhm.
uh he does first. I want to point out this is a little bit like we said, but not completely. He brings down here even there is no schus avos. Gula sololam kayemes. He's always has to do the gula. Right? He promised it according to his name. So just like his name is eternal, so forever and ever.
Mhm.
Kakula saying Lam Kema, so to our gula is eternal. Uh, uh, V'hachi perusho zocher chasivos im name l'golam. V'af im tamas chus avos, even if the chus avos is finished, maybe go name l'man shmo shu kayim lo lolam. He brings it for his name, which is eternal. And ba'ava, al shem ba'abaslam avtich. Okay, this is the Abu though says differently. He says because Abu calls a lashon who hoveh alavar valasid. It's on the future, on the present, on the past, and the future. Klamar b'choyon gomel
Mhm.
chesed b'konei akol. Every day he's gomel chesed and konei akol b'zocher chaz de'avos. Maybe goel livnei b'nehem. All that is constantly. Why?
Yeah.
Ki gal es Yisrael. Mitzrayim. Because he redeemed us from Mitzrayim. Be'emayu b'nei b'nehem sh'avos. And they and I don't know how he puts it into the words, but somehow he says somehow this because he's redeemed us in the past. V'emayu b'nei b'neihem shel Avos, and they were he redeemed them from Egypt when they were b'nei b'neihem shel Avos. Gam golenu b'chol yom. L'asila golenu. He also saves us every day and is going to save us in the future. So somehow he's learning that. Maybe go
Meaning,
b'nei what?
meaning because he's outside of time. So for him, there's no future, present, and past. And since he redeemed them, he continues to redeem even now.
Something along those lines. Yes, I guess.
Hmm.
I guess maybe go. I guess the name is for the grandchildren for the Yetzias Mitzrayim, who are the great grandchildren of the grandchildren of Avos, right? And Leman Shmo means constant nowadays because we're his nation, and Ba'ava means in the future. He's going to redeem us sometime in the future out of love. I don't see how that
Of
fits into the
Mashiach.
words, but that's how the Abu Drama is learning.
Hmm.
Okay, well, so we'll leave that. We'll stop here for today. We'll leave the
Yeah,
because the Melech Chozer Mashiach is very complicated. We'll leave that for next
yeah.
time. Okay,
Okay.
shkoyach.
So, Thank you.
Have a good night.